In this session, we're going to look at creating a little mini site using hyperlinks and HTML text. To do this, first of all, we need to create an index page. Now, the index page is the root file of your whole website. So I'm going to call this home page, and I'm going to click on create. Now in here, we need to have a title. So in the body tag, I'm going to open up a header tag, H1 tag. And then I'm going to put in index.html, so we know what the page is going to be called as well. And then I'm just going to close that tag off. So this is going to be our home page. Then what I want to be able to do is link to some other pages. So I'm going to have page 1, page 2, page 3, and that should be enough. I'm also going to turn that into a nice little unordered list. So once again, I'm going to go to Window, bring up my Properties panel. Rather than Coda, I'm just going to give it an unordered list so it's there. So you notice it's actually written that for us. We've got our index, we've got a blank between those. You notice that Dreamweaver likes to put in its own code between paragraph tags, so we can remove that. So we've got pages 1, 2, and 3 in index. So we need to save that now. So I'm just going to go save as, and I'm going to call it index.html. Now, whenever you develop a website, this should be your core page. This is the entry point, or you could say the front door of your website. So everyone should be looking for the index.html. Now, with some websites, we know that they can come in sideways, so they might come in through a window, you could say, and come in at page 2 rather than in through index.html or your home page, but that's okay. So what we need to do now is create the other 3 pages. So I'm just going to go up to File and go New, and once again, I'm just going to click on Create, and we'll call this one page 1. So I'm going to do this in the code this time, page 1, and we need to create a heading once more, H1, page 1, and close that. So I'm just going to copy this one line of code, and now I'm going to save this, save as, and I'm going to call it page 1. And I'm going to do this for the other pages as well. So once again, go File, New, and this time we'll call it page 2, and click on Create. In the body tag, this time I'm just going to paste and put page 2 and save that. And then we'll do one more, which will be our page 3. Once again, paste that, and we'll have page 3. And save this file, save as, page 3. So now we can actually see in our site files all the documents, 1, 2, and 3, and our index page. Also, the good thing about Dreamweaver, we've got multiple tabs open. Now, other programs such as Notepad++, Atom, etc. also enable you to do this with code. But the good thing with Dreamweaver, we can actually see the run page on the right-hand side. Now, we've already created an ordered list, so I'm just going to pick those up, but I'm also going to put in here one more. I'm just going to press Enter and put in index there, or home page. Okay, and that's a good thing about Dreamweaver. We can drop between the two rather than having to write the code for it. So I'm going to pick this ordered list up. Now, we can either do it 2 ways. I'm going to just pick it up via its code, because I know it's more accurate to actually have the start of an unordered list and a close unordered list and the list items in it. And then as I go through each page, I can just paste those in now. So, and this is a very quick way of developing your navigation as well. So now all the pages will have a consistent feel. Now you notice that all these little stars appear up on the file names, and that's because they haven't been saved since the change. So you can actually come in and go Save All, and it actually saves all the files now. All 4 of those files have been resaved, and therefore we know that all the updates are now across all of them. Now what we'd like to do is start with the index page. And what we want to do is create a hyperlink between page 1. So when they click on here, it actually takes us to page 1. If I click on the little globe and go to preview in Chrome, you notice at the moment there are no hyperlinks, but we can see the layout of our page. So we're going to select and highlight page 1. I'm going to use the property tools, and I'm going to bring that just on stage a little bit more to make it obvious. And I'm going to use the link, and I'm going to drag that up to page 1. Now the reason why I say this is a rapid prototyping tool, because if we actually drop into the code, you notice now it's actually got the attribute tag, and then you've got href for the reference, and it gives you the page name. So this is the file name that it's trying to attach to. Also, it's got the hypertext that's going to appear on the stage, on the screen, and also the close of the anchor, and also we know that we're inside a list item inside an unordered list. So we can quickly use the design page now to link all these together. So page 2 and also page 3. So they're all linked together. So let's go to, and I'm just going to go Command S or Control Save, and now what I'm going to do is go to page 1. Now you notice page 1 hasn't got all these linked. Now if I was on page 1, I actually don't need page 1 as a hyperlink because I'm already there, but the home page needs to be done. So that goes back to index. Page 2 goes back to page 2, and page 3 goes to page 3. So now when I save this and I go back to my index page, I can now run this as a web page. So preview this in Chrome. So now when I click on page 1, I go to page 1, and notice how page 1 now doesn't actually have a hyperlink, but home does, and page 2 and 3. So if I click on home, I'm now back at index. If I pick on page 2, we haven't done page 2 yet, and there's no hyperlinks available. So let's quickly finish off this website by going to page 2. But before I go there, I'm going to go into split view here. Oh no, I'll do it manually. So we'll go back here, and now I'm on page 2. So page 1 has to link to home, the index, page 1, page 3. Save, and for our last page, we need to do the same thing again. So now we should be able to bounce between all our pages. So I'm just going to save that. I just want to check that page 3 is going to page 3, page 1 is going to page 1, home is to index. So you can actually go through all your links and just check down here that they're coded correctly, or look over here and make sure they're actually linked to the right page. Now, if I look at this one here, page 3, you notice that page 3 is actually linked to page 1. You can also see it here. So page 3 should be going to page 3. So make sure that you highlight that. So in this case here, page 3, 2, 1, that's all correct. So make sure that your hyperlinks are correct, because if you do it wrong, it will cause you an issue. Now everything's saved once again, and I'm going to open up at this point here. So I'm selecting the page and going to preview. We'll do it in Google. And so now you can already see active hyperlinks. I'm just going to refresh this with a shift reload. And now I can go to page 1 to home, page 2, 2 to home, 3, 3 to 2, 2 to 1, 1 to 3, and home again. So now we have a little mini website that allows us to go to different pages. We can then just put any content we like on the page. Another tag you can actually add is the HR tag, which is a horizontal rule. That'll put an actual line across the page for us. And then you can go, this is text, www.lmarsden.com. Close this panel up. And then if we save that, we can actually go reload that page. And you can see now we can actually have an index page at the top. So this is how you can quickly make a little website.